Well, good morning, Acts Church. Happy Friday, June 26th. Today we are picking up in our one-year Bible reading in 2 Kings chapters 9 and 10. We're reading about Jehu. Now, yesterday, Jehu had been anointed to be the future king of Israel. So he decides he is going to go and fulfill the word of the Lord. And he goes and he kills King Joram of Israel, a wicked king in the order of King Ahab. He goes and kills Jezebel. He destroys all the descendants of Ahab and all of Ahab's friends and advisors to fulfill the word of the Lord, that none of Ahab's people will sit on the throne of Israel. And then he goes on to destroy the temple of Baal and all of the Baal worshipers. So he's zealous for the things of God. But it says, but he did not, however, destroy the gold calves at Bethel and Dan, with which Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had caused Israel to sin. Nonetheless, the Lord said to Jehu, "You've done well in following my instructions to destroy the family of Ahab." But Jehu did not obey the law of the Lord, the God of Israel, with all his heart. Oh, that just breaks my heart. He did so much for God, and he was so zealous and so passionate for God, but he just couldn't take care of those sacred cows. Oh, those sacred cows have been there a long time. And, well, they were alternate places of worship for the people of Israel, so they wouldn't have to go to Jerusalem and Judah. And we don't mess with those sacred cows, God. They've been there a long time. My grandpa worshiped there. My grandma worshiped there. We don't need to mess with that. But God said, yeah, no, you didn't follow me with your whole heart. I know that you're probably like me, and we want to serve God with our whole heart. And so we ask the Holy Spirit to just come and shine a flashlight in those dark places of our heart. Show us things that aren't fully committed to Him, and we ask Him to help us give those things over to Him. I have a friend, Miss Rachel. She tells a story of how her thing was a pair of wool socks, and how when her mom was from Minnesota, so she grew up sleeping in wool socks every night to keep her little feet warm. But her husband did not like those scratchy wool socks. And it became a thing in their marriage where she'd say, "Oh, I love you." And he'd say, "Oh, and I love you, but not your socks." And so these socks really kind of became an issue. And for 15 years, she just kept wearing these socks. And to her husband, bless his heart, he did not like these socks. And so God began to speak to her. How important are these socks, Rachel? If they bother your husband, do you need to have these socks? Can't you wear other socks? No, I like my wool socks. And she's digging in her heels. Got to have these wool socks. And God just kept shining that flashlight on her heart. And the Holy Spirit kept speaking, do you really need to have these socks? So she said finally they went on a trip together, and she left the socks at home. She climbed in bed that night, and her little toes were so cold. And he didn't even notice that she wasn't wearing those socks. And she was so mad when she went to sleep. Here I am freezing with freezing toes, and he didn't even notice. But she said she woke up in the early hours of the morning. He's sitting over in the chair in the hotel room with tears streaming down his face. And she said, "Oh, honey, what's the matter?" And he said, "Oh, you do love me." And she said, "Well, of course I love you, but what's the matter?" And he said, "Nothing's the matter. You took off your socks." Oh, family, when we are willing to lay things down at the feet of Jesus, how much joy and happiness it brings to everyone. So let's ask the Holy Spirit today to shine that spotlight in our hearts, to reveal those things that maybe aren't wholly given over to the Lord. And He'll make it all so much better. Love you, family. Have a wonderful day.